What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this very quick discussion about Married at First Sight. So I found out yesterday that Lindy and Miguel from season 15 of Married at First Sight, they announced that they will be getting a divorce. So another one bites the dust for season 15, which I think leaves season 15 at 0 for 0. There's no lasting marriages from that season. And I think they were the last one standing. Now they are headed to Splitsville. So Lindy had posted on her Instagram that her and Miguel are going to be getting a divorce. And her message said, and I quote, "It is with great heartbreak Miguel and I are announcing our divorce. Sadly, it's impossible to stay married if both people are not equally committed to the success of the marriage. Marrying a stranger on national TV has been a very painful, overwhelming, and confusing process." Now, when she had said that it's impossible to stay married if both people are not equally committed to the success of the marriage, it made me think. I was wondering, like, which one was not that committed. And if I had to make a guess, I would say that in her eyes, it was probably Miguel that seemed like he really wasn't that committed to the success of the marriage. And Miguel probably would think that maybe she was the one that wasn't that committed. But I think that between the two of them, I think Miguel's heart probably was no longer in it as much. And I think that Lindy probably wasn't willing to make the necessary changes to make it work, because throughout their whole entire season, in my personal opinion, as I watched it, I felt like Lindy believed that she really wasn't contributing to the problems in their relationship. Lindy was very quick to point the finger at Miguel for whatever was causing their problems in their marriage, and was not willing to self-reflect or to take it upon herself to make changes within herself to help the marriage. I think that Miguel took it on as his responsibility for him to make the necessary changes within himself, so that to make Lindy happy. That's what I think. I think he was like, well, this is what I need to change to make her happy. And Lindy was more so kind of like, I don't have to change anything because I'm the one that wants to be married. I'm the one that wants to stay married. I've known since day one that I was committed to this whole entire process. So why should I make any changes? And I think that the burden was put on him. And I think maybe he just got to the point where he was done having to take the blame for the problems of their marriage, and I think he was done. I really do. I think that obviously Miguel has a lot of love for Lindy, and maybe will always love Lindy and have a place in his heart for her. But I just don't think that he was really into that marriage the way that it appeared to be. I think with Miguel and Lindy, as I watched their season, there were just a lot of smoke and mirrors for them. I think they just showed us what they wanted us to see. I think they presented themselves in a way that was in the best light for them, and not necessarily in the most truthful light. I think that they did a lot of hiding of what was really going on in their marriage, because they just wanted to look as if, we are the couple that's going to last. We are the breakout star couple of this season. We're the ones that are doing everything right. We're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing. And I think they kind of turned their nose up at the other couples who were struggling with their marriages. This is just all my personal opinion. And I could be completely wrong, but that's just how I saw it when I was watching the season. Miguel himself had posted, and I quote, "Divorce feels like you'll never quite smile the same way again. It's a sorrow that just lingers. Be considerate with your comments. On my page, I have zero tolerance for any negative comments towards Lindy. So save yourself the trouble, because it's gonna get deleted anyway." Now, when he posted that comment, I thought it was a little bit like on the aggressive side when he was, warning people, if you say anything about Lindy, your comment's going to be deleted, because I thought that he would just stick to the announcement of, we're not together, we're getting a divorce, respect our privacy, blah, blah, blah. So when he came with this whole, if you say anything negative about Lindy, your comments are going to be deleted, it made me think that this is something that he's been dealing with for a very long time. People coming to his page and leaving negative comments about Lindy, people believing that maybe he deserved better than Lindy, pointing out all the problems with Lindy, because Lindy was problematic. she was definitely problematic because of the fact that it seemed like she wasn't willing to realize what she needed to change, her shortcomings. A problem that he had with her was that she was always negative. She always saw the glass as half empty. That bothered him. He had more of a positive outlook on life. What bothered him was her emotions, which were just sort of like all over the place. You know how she would just explode out of nowhere. She would have these explosive temper tantrums, and how she would just, have these fits of rage. And she saw nothing wrong with that. Her justification for acting like that was, well, this is just how I am, and I'm not going to change. This is just who I am. And she wasn't willing to change in the very least, while he was required and expected, to completely overhaul his entire personality to fit hers. And I think it came to a point where she was probably sick and tired of waiting for him to turn into whatever she wanted him to be, and he was sick and tired of feeling like he was the cause of all of their problems, when in reality it was a two-way street. I'm pretty sure that she contributed to a lot of their marital woes as well, as much as he did. But the difference is he was willing to acknowledge what he needed to change, if he needed to change, whereas Lindy was not willing to acknowledge anywhere that she needed to change. This is from what I saw on TV. Now, what happened after the camera stopped rolling, who the hell knows? Sorry, but this is what I saw on TV, and this is just my own personal opinion. And so I feel like his DMs or his comment sections were probably just overwhelmed with a lot of negative comments about Lindy, because I think Lindy rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I'm not surprised that they are divorcing after 1 year of marriage. I'm surprised that it lasted as long as it did, because on decision day, I just did not think that they were compatible. I did not think they were compatible at all, especially when in the beginning, and Miguel was on the fence. He was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to say yes, and I don't know how all this is going to turn out. I don't know how I'm going to feel about you at the end. And Lindy would get so upset about it, because she was like, we're married. You don't have the option to be like, I might not go through with this. We are committed. We are married. And, you just need to understand that, like, that there is no option of backing out of this. That's how she saw it. We're married, we're committed, this is for life. And he kind of saw it still as an experiment, like, I still have the option to change my mind. But soon after, he stepped in line with what she wanted, which was, yes, we're married, we're committed, and I don't have an option to back out of this. And Miguel had his faults as well. He definitely had his faults, but like I said, Miguel was willing to acknowledge that and try to make changes, where I felt like Lindy just wasn't. So it's never a good thing when a marriage breaks up, especially if there hasn't been any like overt abuse or mistreatment. If it's just an issue of personalities clashing or expectations not being met, you kind of would want the people to kind of work it out. But I don't think these people should ever have said yes on decision day to begin with. And I always felt like if they said yes on decision day and ended up getting a divorce later, I felt like it was going to be Lindy that was going to be more hurt than Miguel, because Lindy was so focused on keeping this thing going, keeping this thing together at all costs. And I felt like it was in her own best interest to not say yes on decision day, because she was the one that was more invested in this than he was, in my personal opinion. And she was going to be the one to end up getting more hurt later on than however much hurt she felt on decision day. Whatever kind of pain or hurt she felt on decision day, if he would have said no, would have been bad, but it would never be as bad as like if they were to go on after decision day and then they have to call it quits. But that's just my personal opinion. Maybe she really didn't give a damn. Maybe she was running to the courthouse to file the divorce documents because she just could not wait to get away from him. And the way that Lindy and Miguel are, I don't think that we will ever know exactly, what happened, because, and it's not our business. I'm not saying that we should know. They don't have to say anything. They don't have to give an explanation. They don't have to make any kind of announcements. They don't have to make any kind of post at all, period. This is their life, their marriage, their business. I get it. But I'm just saying that, I don't think we'll ever know exactly what happened, because they're so focused on always presenting things in a certain way. When she said that marrying a stranger on national television has been a very painful, overwhelming, and confusing process, I was like, what does she mean by that? Painful. Yeah, that's what she said. And but both of them said that they do not regret making their connection on Married at First Sight. Um, I'm pretty sure this is a learning experience for them. They're all going to grow from this, become better people after this, etc., etc. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just just give a little Married at First Sight update. That Lindy and Miguel, they claim that they're headed for divorce, but it might be like here I go with the names. It might end up like Olajuwon and what was her name? Didn't it start with the K? Y'all, I'm so sorry. It might be like Olajuwon and his wife, where they announced that they were separating, and then they came back and announced that they were not separating, that they were going to stay together. It might be like that. Maybe Lindy will convince him, or he'll convince her to, hey, let's make it work. Who knows? These people, they're all over the place. But thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.